Alright, today's airflow test we'll be doing a Silver King, a now discontinued door-to-door brand out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. So this one is a bit older than my other one, my Blue Max Air 2000, although that's where the power head came from. I do have the original one for this, and maybe at some point I'll see if I can remove this sticker somehow and transplant it onto here so it matches a little bit better. I couldn't for the life of me find a decently priced hose for one of these, at least not in the older style, so I ended up buying another Blue Max Air 2000 from a local shop for like 50 bucks, and I figured, well, I'll just reuse the wand, the hose, and the power head since it's correct for this model. So, but yeah. Anyways, let's get on with the testing. I'm not gonna try to talk over these because they are a peripheral bypass machine and they tend to be rather noisy. But we are running low on our voltage today, as we can see about 118 as to where it's usually running at around 120, sometimes up to 122 ambient, but not much I can do about that. And I do want to get this done so I can get it boxed up and stored at my friend's place, because the road's going to be torn up there tomorrow, so I've got a few tests to get through today. So let's begin. We're just going to start off with the machine, and then I'll plug the power head in so we can get full wattage. And we see that this machine is rated for 7.5 amps without the nozzle, 9.1 with it. I'm going to guess we might see higher wattage since we are, we don't have the hose or anything attached at the moment. So let's get this started. Okay. It was loose. Just out of curiosity, I put my hand behind the exhaust to see if there was much coming out of it while I had that, while I had the gauge on, and yeah, there really was barely anything coming out of there. So, I mean, it's clearly not fully sealed. I'm guessing that it must be able to pull just a little bit of air from around there. It's just a guess. But, let's attach our hose and get on with this. Now, these actually use the same connection as like a TriStar, like one of the older metal ones. But mine, unfortunately, is missing the little locking tab. I figure at some point when I think about it, I'll grab a small bolt to replace that with. And then these older style ones, and some of the Blue Maxes that didn't have the Wesselworks kit, still have a 3-prong connector. And then on the other end of the hose, it's actually a female end. Oh, hold up a moment. Had to get the power plug in. But anyways, this is a female end on here, meaning that the tools and the wands insert into the cuff rather than vice versa, as you would usually see. And then we have the same 3-pin connection in here. And I have a feeling we're going to experience more suction leakage around here, because I mean it's a little loose feeling right around these metal connections, but I guess we'll see. Nice long crush-proof hose on these, and we'll get this started up and go turn the machine on. There we go. Now. Well, the longer a distance you travel, the more you're going to lose. And we did lose quite a bit of flow through this hose. Then the suction test. Oh, come on. And yeah, kind of as predicted, we did lose a fair amount of power. And then we got the wands on here, which they just come down to a standard wand. So this piece here actually has a, it's kind of like a double-sided button lock. It's got the male ends on both sides, so we got a button lock there, a button lock here, and then that's just a standard 1 1/4 wand. Strange, but the Silver King itself is kind of a strange machine. And we don't appear to be moving, so why don't we just move on to the suction. Now that's a little strange. It seems like we may not have lost much of anything. Okay though. With the bottom plate being solid on these, I figured we'd just slide the entire assembly forward and eliminate the need for the front plate. So it shouldn't be able to nosedive into here. But we'll get on with the airflow testing of the nozzle. We'll start with it in the off position, and then we'll turn it on. Although, it actually doesn't make a huge amount of sense to do it in the off position in the first place, because these lack any front wheels. So they are not bare floor friendly at all. Alright, so in the off position, Seems like that's all we'll get from it. So we'll do the suction, which isn't great, and we can definitely feel leakage around the motor vents, right here, and a little bit around the neck, as well as kind of underneath. So I'm guessing where the housings join together. So that's where we're sitting. And now with the nozzle on, I don't know why it's taken such a big hit. But okay though. And alright, let's do our usual pickup test. Alright, and there we have the Silver King 73 B2. Well, I've got some other videos to make, so I'm going to wrap things up.